At the beginning of the week, the community was left reeling from news that there would be more than 1,000 layoffs at the steel plant. By the end of the week, a rough outline of a plan to start new production lines and improve existing production lines for the roughly would result in roughly 500 of those 1,000 jobs being saved, which is undoubtedly a welcome commitment from our anxious city. What is certain, however, is that these are extremely uncertain times. We are in a very difficult economic situation. Yes, some of the layoffs were planned to happen in 2027, but the collapse of the Canadian steel market resulting from 50% tariffs on our community's main export means that what was supposed to be a 24-month transition to a reduced workforce turned out to be a 6-month transition to a reduced workforce. But the city is doing everything it can and within its authority to help, from advocating to other levels of government for urgent support to pursuing opportunities to diversify and strengthen our local economy. And even as we will do tonight, finding responsible ways to limit municipal spending. Since the outset of this term, this council has committed to projects like the Port of Algoma that can create a healthy additional industry in town to help with stability and growth for our economy. Initiatives like the port and continuing to push for the relocation of OLG jobs to our community have always been priorities. But last week's developments mean they have taken on renewed urgency. I've already ensured that both the provincial and federal governments understand their importance, particularly at this moment. Myself and Mr. Baer and other staff have discussed these priorities last week with the Premier, the Federal Minister of Industry, and we have a request out through our MP to meet with the Prime Minister. Staff have been tasked with a number of different efforts by this council to advance economic diversification, from pursuing the defense industry opportunities to a national wildfire center. Just a few weeks ago, council appointed Councillor Gardy on a re-employment committee to work with industry inside the city and Algoma District to connect laid-off employees with nearby opportunities. In January, there is a handful of us that will be going to a provincial municipal conference in Toronto, where we will continue to advocate for things like the port, the OLG, and other important economic diversification projects. I know that this council and our staff will not rest until we have a plan for each and every one of those 1,000 jobs to be saved or retrained in the Soo or nearby. We do have our work cut out for us, but we will work incredibly diligently to ensure results as quickly as possible. Thank you.